Dry ice blasting is a process in which particles of solid carbon dioxide, commonly known as dry ice, are propelled at high velocities to impact and clean a surface. Upon impact, the particles return to their natural state as carbon dioxide gas, and thus simply disappear as they clean.
From an environmental standpoint, dry ice is made from recycled CO2 that's been recaptured from industrial sources, so you're not producing new CO2. And of course, cleaning with dry ice creates no secondary waste and eliminates solvents. So really it is truly green from start to finish. And dry ice pellets and blocks are easily available just about everywhere in the world. Just call a producer, schedule a delivery, and you get a nice insulated tote filled with dry ice delivered right to your door.
Since first being introduced commercially in 1987, dry ice blasting has grown to become a vital part of the industrial cleaning practices in a broad range of industries. Though it is easy to compare the process to sandblasting, dry ice actually removes contaminants differently. Sandblasting is an abrasive process. Although it effectively removes surface contaminants, it also picks away at the substrate, wearing it away over time, altering surface geometries, destroying critical tolerances. Sand particles can also become entrapped, causing critical problems that can shut down the manufacturing process while the problem is solved. Dry ice, on the other hand, disappears as it cleans and will not alter most industrial substrates. On successful cleaning applications, the dry ice pierces the contaminant, but sublimates upon striking the underlying substrate. The resulting expansion of the carbon dioxide gas actually lifts the contaminant off from the inside out. The dry ice then disappears without damaging the targeted surface and without creating grit entrapment issues.
Mold is a type of fungi that we find everywhere, but unfortunately, once it gets inside of our homes, it creates health hazards.
One of our biggest challenges with mold remediation is getting into tight spots.
We're required to physically remove the mold from the structure. Traditionally, we use sanding, wire brushing, or other abrasive methods.
It was multiple man hours. It was very messy anytime you sand or grind, especially on concrete or brick with mortar, things of that nature. It's a very dirty environment, which then costs us more time as far as cleanup.
When you dry ice blast, you're not creating any secondary waste.
The cold jet product, we're able to do so much better of a job than we ever could before. The best we could ever hope to do before was probably remove somewhere in the neighborhood of 85% of the mold. Now we're getting much closer to 99, 100%.
Now that we use dry ice blasting, we're literally able to go in there and do an effective job of cleaning in a space that we've tried in the past with scrubbing and planing and grinding. In an attic, when you have so many nails coming through the sheeting of the roof, you just can't clean around all that.
The ability to locate the actual dry ice blasting machine outside of the crawl space and run 40, 60, 80 feet of hose into the crawl space, and then have nozzles that are designed to go around corners and things where you can work in very tight quarters. That's You know, that's what it takes to get in and do those tough jobs.
When you have a square cavity and a round disc on a sander, you can't get the corners. With dry ice blasting, there's truly no area untouched.
The biggest challenge in fire restoration is determining what has sustained damage. When something has been damaged, can it be restored?
The conventional methods we used to use were manual, sanding with sand blocks, with vibrating sanders that have a hose attachment to them, grinders, and wire brushes. Accessibility seems to be the biggest challenge.
The solution that we found with cold jet in the fire restoration is the hard to clean areas, such as where 2x4s meet up with whatever materials, whether it's stucco or other wood members. We find it to be very efficient on cleaning those areas, which would otherwise be almost impossible.
Cold jet's equipment is bar none the best cleaning quality we can achieve. Coatings and deodorizers are used at a minimum because it eliminates 100% of the charred wood, of the carbon, which houses the smell.
The old method had a whole lot of things that were a problem. One was obviously the labor costs. And now with the cold jet, we're getting the labor done faster and we're getting it done more efficient.
Cold jet has provided unprecedented speed. It's 60 to 300% quicker, depending on what we're doing.
It used to be we could send out possibly 3 to 4 guys for a week to do a job, where now we can send 2 guys out and we're done in a day to a day and a half.
Because of the process the dry ice goes through, evaporates to a gas upon impact, we have no secondary cleanup as opposed to the other ways of blasting, soda blasting and sand blasting. I learned to use the cold jet system in about 10 minutes.
Before and after with dry ice is very dramatic from the standpoint, not only you can see where you've been and where you're going, but it actually cleans the wood up extremely well, in some cases better than what it was prior to the loss.
When we're finished dry ice blasting, it's always an open mouth in awe. I can't believe it looks like that. We literally bring wood back to pristine, what it was when it was brand new.
The Utah State Capitol is undergoing a seismic upgrade and restoration project. A project like this would have had to have been done with paint strippers, solvents, using an abrasive blasting method, which would have damaged the underlying surface. We're using dry ice blasting to remove lead-based paint from all the stair components. What it does is it brings out all the original detail that had been lost with all the multiple layers of coats of paint that have been applied over the years. They were excited about the fact that we wouldn't be creating a big mess with paint strippers. They were excited about the fact that, we didn't leave any secondary waste at all. We blast right up adjacent to the rock without damaging the rock. And if you start using chemical solvents and paint strippers and things like that, there's a likelihood that could leach into the rock and stain the rock, and that would not be good. From an environmental point of view, the cold jet dry ice blasting process is pretty sweet. First of all, you're using dry ice that is recycled or recaptured from some other industrial process. We're using a recycled product that disappears as you're using it and doesn't leave any secondary waste. When we're done with this project, we'll have a barrel of lead-based paint chips, and that's all we have to dispose of for a project this size. That's pretty impressive. We can do things that nobody else can do. If you have projects where you can't tolerate sand or solvent or water, there aren't a lot of other options. So this lets us go into food processing plants, lets us go into, turbine and power generation equipment, printing presses, and then restoration. We can go into homes and create, enclosures like you see here, and do our dry ice blasting on fireplaces or stairs or whatever the case may be, and we don't create any huge messes. When I started my business, I looked for the machine that had the most benefits and was the most flexible and could solve the most problems. And Cold Jet's equipment is the one that fits the bill.